Justin here with the Atlanta Brick Co. And I am here today with the Brick Czar.
Oh yeah. Hi.
How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good. Thanks for having us down here in your studio.
Absolutely. For anyone who doesn't know, and you should, the Brick Czar is a Lego YouTuber, and you've been doing YouTube for how long now?
For the Brick Czar channel, it's been since December of 2012. My first upload to YouTube was in 2008.
Wow. And your channel has grown pretty sizably.
You accidentally discover things that work. Some things don't work, but yeah, it's I guess Brick Czar has 61,000 subscribers. Also have another channel with 134,000 subscribers.
Whoa.
Another one with 40,000.
Wow.
So.
And we have another YouTuber with us today.
Small-time YouTuber, but, you know, I'm here nonetheless. I'm Brian from Brian's Bricks.
And how long have you been doing YouTube?
I've only been doing YouTube since December of 2016. But, I mean, I've been a Lego fan my whole life, so came naturally.
Yes, exactly. Lego YouTube. It's a match made in heaven.
Exactly, exactly.
He's like me 30 years ago, because he's into the castle theme and
yeah,
he's
he's vintage, and I actually, I grew up watching Brick Czar, and so getting to actually meet him and like learn from how he does YouTube,
yes,
the kind of stuff that he likes about Lego, it's cool, because that's the kind of stuff that a lot of people my age don't care about.
Yeah,
vintage stuff.
So when doing a video, how do you guys decide on what content you're going to share? Is it more organic, like, I feel like talking about this? How do you decide what do you want to discuss and share with the world?
It's evolved over the times. Like when I first started doing Lego related videos, I saw other people doing set reviews, so I thought I would get a Lego set and talk about it.
Yeah.
And it was all unscripted. Still is pretty much unscripted. Then I kind of got tired of doing reviews, and now it's what I'm doing. Like it could be anything. It could be parting out sets. It could be acquiring sets to complete a set I'm trying to build. I do a lot of the piecing together of vintage sets. And, just we're building something. My son's building something. Film that. So it's more. I don't want to call it a vlog style that I do now, but it's more. This is just what I'm doing today.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Mine is almost entirely reviews, and I try to keep them concise and quickly edited and compact, just to do set reviews. And what I focus on is kind of what he started out doing, and maybe in the future I'll get to
at it.
Well, I wouldn't say so, but I mean, I grew up in the internet age, so like that kind of stuff was just more readily available. But I do vintage set reviews, so the stuff that a lot of the new current channels don't cover, where they're talking about the most recent Lego set. I'll be talking about Castle or Rock Raiders or Life on Mars, or the stuff that I grew up with personally. From that end, it's more just about, I want to be able to remember and look back on these sets even when I'm older. And so I create a review that I'm happy with, that I would want to watch later, and just put it up whenever I'm able to. So it's much less consistent. It's that kind of style where it's a review and not much else.
What was the triggering factor for you guys to think, okay, I'm going to upload this and make it public? What was the thing that finally, like, I know for a lot of people, myself included, you think about it for a while. It's like, no, I'm going to do it. What was the thing that pushed you into, I am going to do this?
Google. So I had uploaded these videos in 2008 because I thought YouTube was a video sharing service. Like, you upload it, because back then it's like it took a long time to upload a video. A little 4-minute video would take me a few hours sometimes to upload. So I thought, okay, I get it uploaded, that way if my friends or my family want to watch the video, they can watch it. And so unbeknownst to me, one of the videos was doing really well as far as like views. And Google was reaching out to me to monetize my channel, and I'm like, why? I thought it was spam. So I finally ended up signing up for it, but then I was like, okay, what do I do? So that goes back to your questions, like, I don't know what to do. So I just started filming just anything I could think of, and it was very bad, very, very, very bad. And then started researching what other things that I was interested in, and that's when I started discovering that people were doing Lego videos, and I'm like, I got more Legos than they do. Like,
let me show these kids.
I can do this.
Yeah.
Anybody starting YouTube, it's like, just do it. You'll make mistakes. You'll look back with cringe at your early content, but it's like, that's how you learn. And it's like, I'm sitting here in your studio with lights and the camera and the microphones, and it's like I learned about photography and filming by making videos.
Mm-hmm.
You start out with a very bad camera that had terrible audio quality, and then just, I don't like the way that sounds, and you learn, and so that it organically evolved, and now 7,000. I don't know how many videos I made. Briggsar has 4,000. Trains Are Fun has like 1,300, and then I got like 600. So that's maybe 6,000 videos.
Wow. You mentioned being amateur and mics. I actually forgot to hook up the mic. We do have a nice mic, and I was so excited to when you guys did this. I completely
I see the microphone way over there.
Yeah.
So is the audio quality going to be terrible?
And we're back. How about that? So you were telling us about the early days you just learned as you went. For you, what were some of the biggest things that still ring in your mind? Like, man, I wish I knew that.
Sound quality.
Okay.
Sound is more important than video. Buying a lav mic since I do most stuff by myself, it's not like this where it's a group setting, but just having the better audio quality makes a huge difference. Not having the dryer running upstairs or the air. I would sometimes have to turn off the air conditioner.
Yes.
Because the furnace
just start sweating.
Yeah. So,
I've been there.
Yeah. So,
I've been there.
But that's the most important thing is sound. And now that people with the iPhones, I film all my stuff with an iPhone. And the picture quality is good even in low light. Our older versions, it wasn't so good in low light. So I used to have studio lights. Don't need them so much now because I put lights up in my ceiling in the basement, so it makes it well lit most of the places that I film. Audio first, lighting second.
I started out without any sort of studio, any sort of backing area, and that was one of the funniest things I remember is when I first uploaded my videos, I was doing them reviews on like box lids, and that's all I had. And so I had a box lid here and a box lid behind it, and everybody, like, some comments on the videos would be like, "Oh, review from a toilet seat." And so that really, that put a fire under me to be like, maybe I should at least get some white backing or anything that you can make it, make the Lego set stand out more so that people aren't distracted by whatever, is going on. So when I'm trying to get in close and focus on the Lego bricks, I think that was the main thing for me, was I needed to have a well-lit, clean, blank studio. And, people like Just Too Good and Jang Bricks have been doing that for years, and that was something that I was like, if you want to make good-looking content, you just got to step up and create a studio space for you to do that. So,
see, Jang, he started out with base plates, so don't feel
bad.
He
did.
Yes,
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And it's like
you learn along the way.
We make snarky remarks about the infinite white background, but
it's clean.
Try different colors. Just try any. Pick your color that you want to try. It won't work.
Yeah.
Only white works for a clean background. You can have, but you can have softer, like blues, grayish blues might work. But like I tried using green. It's just the light shining and reflecting on the pieces would make them not look right on camera.
Yeah, and the problem I kept running into is any other color I chose was something similar to a Lego piece, so it would disappear. Yeah. So I did find I have this off grayish.
Yes, it's a neutral color.
Yeah, that is good.
And it's not quite gray, it's not quite white, but you're right, it doesn't make the shadow. Now we're talking about really nerdy.
But it's the things nobody talks about because they just, I don't know, I guess people just know it or figure it out. I don't know.
I mean, people, they see the white background and they're like, oh, you copied so-and-so. I'm like, no, that's photography.
Yeah, that's how you do stock photography or anything that you want to look professional. Like, that's just what you do.
Oh, no.
Oh, look, someone's crashing the party.
We have room for
Who is this?
Absolutely.
Are we
Get
filming
in
on
here.
an iPad?
Yes, man.
Yes,
it's professional.
We're
What did
doing
you
it
get?
super. We have another chair for him.
Ewing.
Who is
Not bad.
this
That's
guy?
He doesn't know anything
This
about YouTube. This is the YouTuber experts. Why we get this guy?
Yeah, why are we talking to this guy? He doesn't know how to
Oh
do
my
YouTube.
god. Okay, you have no idea. I ordered like 7 of these from like Singapore, and the government took them.
What?
Customs took them?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. They thought they were knockoff. I'm like, yeah. I got my money back from PayPal, so I just like let it happen, I guess. But they sent
That's
me like a bunch of
strange.
letters, and I was like, I guess I'm effed and not get. Oh man, it would have been so cool to have them. Yeah, I'm just popping in. Yeah.
All right.
I said I'll do this next time I'm here.
Okay,
So,
cool.
Yeah, I told Mark.
4 or 5
not
hours.
too
We'll be done. Yeah.
No rush,
Depends.
just
We're getting deep, man.
Okay.
Yeah, we are. We're
Well, enjoy the rest of your show. I'll be upstairs. I'm sure we're just looking around. This is the insane asylum with white walls.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
My personal.
He won't let
I
us
need
out.
I need the straps.
We can't get out.
That's awesome. All right, so before we so rudely interrupted,
Who's that guy
so
think he is?
You mentioned, whatever, Mangar
Not a big-time
Productions
guy
or
like
something.
us.
I don't know. Yeah, you specifically mentioned Jang and Just Too Good.
Yep.
That was when I first got back into Lego. Those were the people I first discovered because, of course, YouTube
Naturally,
pushes the
yeah.
bigger people at you first. How much do you guys feel like people like that influenced the type of content you do or the style? I mean, everyone uses their
Yeah.
kind of personality as their own style, but do you feel like you're influenced in any way or maybe even reverse influence where you're like, I'm not going to do that? Did you guys ever come across that? Uh-oh. We got a story
Go ahead,
brewing.
Brian.
We got a
Go
story
ahead.
brewing.
I was gonna say that I think it's impossible to not in some way be influenced by those two guys just because they are like the biggest names in Lego YouTube. So anybody making Lego YouTube content like is gonna have some influence from them. I mean, definitely for me, I got the idea. Like you said, I didn't steal it, but like that's just how you do photography, of doing the white background from those guys and getting up close on the bricks, because some people before that we're going way back, and you've got like Clock Riker who's doing like just hand cam and just on his floor, and that's kind of how Lego YouTube started, because it was just like a fan made thing, and then people started coming in like them and doing higher quality, better professional stuff, and so I think more people are from the outset trying to go for that quickly. So for me, the main thing that I wanted to do differently was I would watch Jangbricks, and I don't want to talk bad about Jangbricks because I love Jangbricks, and I'm not going to say anything negative, but like, if sometimes when I'm watching those, I'm like, okay, I don't need all this side story or all the, play value factors of it or this kind of stuff that I'm not interested in. I just want to get through it quick. And so I'm a very much like, I just want to talk quickly, hit the points of the set, show you what it is, tell you what it's, sells for, and then just let you figure out what you think of it on your own. So I think for me, it was more just like cutting that process more concisely. That's kind of what I focused on, was because I felt like there was a lot of space in there that some people definitely prefer that. But just for me personally, I don't want to sit there and watch like an hour-long video about a...
Depends on what audience you're trying to get. So
Yeah.
I think of like with Jang, I think of somebody who's doing a tutorial or a review. So like the other day I was looking up water heater tutorials, and it's like somebody's got a 30-second intro. I'm like, done. I'm like, it's like, people don't, you got to think of who's trying to watch this video. So Jang does his videos, his are not for you.
Yeah.
It may not be for me, but he does have that side of him, like, it's funny and likes to cut up. And so, unfortunately, with YouTube, you got to do like one type of video if you're trying to grow on YouTube.
Yeah.
You have to do one type of video on your channel. If you try to branch out, it's like the algorithm doesn't. But if you're like us, you don't worry about it. We don't worry about it.
No.
And it's like, I know people look at my content and they're like, why is this guy talking about stuff that's not Lego related? Like, I don't care.
It's my life. It's my channel.
I can't. I've thrown in the towel. This is what I'm going to do, and I've actually had so much more enjoyment the last couple of years just filming what I want to film, and I got that core audience that's back for every video that's following me. It's not the 61,000 subscribers; it's the 1,000.
Yeah,
that's who my audience is. That's the other thing with the YouTube: is you do it because you like it, and if you try to make it a job, you'll become very unhappy very quickly. Because I tried to make it like a job, it's hard.
Yeah,
I've heard that time and time again, that if you try to play their algorithm or do what people say just to get the subs, it never works. You have to do it for yourself, and if people happen to like it, then that's how you become successful. Yeah. So you guys...
You got to adapt.
Yeah.
If you're trying to,
if
be
you want to stay on
successful.
top, you definitely do.
I mean, even Jang, man, I feel bad for the guy because it's like,
with the whole regulation stuff that hit his channel and had to change a lot of stuff. But
and then he's had to just like create a new channel. It's like, and that's what I've thought about when I hit that, because I had the meteor, what was it, exponential growth in the early days, and then it plateaus. It's a bell curve, it goes up and then it comes back down, and then you just hit this like, where it's just steadily going, steady trail going down. It's like nothing you do changes it. And I look at like videos I made 3 or 4 years ago. They're so much better than the ones I started out that got 1 million views, and these get 500 views. And I'm like, this video's better than this one, but I don't have any control over that.
Yeah.
And so it's like you feel like you're you're spinning your wheels. You're like a rat in a cage,
Yeah.
spinning, and it's
Yeah.
like you just have to come to realization you got to do what makes you happy, or try to keep up with whatever YouTube changes, come up with ads and COPPA and all that stuff.
What are some of the changes you guys see coming up? Are there anything that you think that you might adapt to your channel?
I don't try to keep up with YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to view it like it could go away one day.
Yeah.
And
That's
so,
a good
you know,
attitude, actually.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
really good attitude.
I mean, I would love everything do better, but I don't fret over it anymore.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to go back to the dark place times, but in 2016, I was doing really well with YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, I was getting a lot of views. A lot of views. And I was making more from AdSense than I was in my regular job. And I was in a bad place at my regular job. And I thought, I could quit. But then YouTube changes overnight. They change something, it changes overnight. And it's like, and then you're like, what just happened? What happened? And then you're like going on forums and you're in contact with other people that do similar content. And like, did you see a change? You're like, yeah. And we're all trying to figure out. And it's like, you just can't keep up with the changes.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
But I think it's good to have YouTube as part of your business model. And I kind of like with Bricklink, here at Atlanta Brick Company, y'all have a physical store, y'all have a Bricklink store, and YouTube is a part of that. And I think that's the kind of formula that works. It's like it's part of your business, and you can promote it, you can talk about it, you can have guest interviews, and you build a network that way. Make YouTube part of the plan, not the plan.
Yeah.
It's the same type of thing that I've learned. I don't want to adapt and grow with YouTube because I want my channel to just be what I want to create. Like you said, your audience isn't the full subscriber count, it's this core audience. And so when I started out, I was just making the reviews that I wanted to make. And I think one way that I kind of have adapted is I started doing live streams a little bit. And that's something that, that's just a way for me to get to know some of the core audience a little bit better and see these people who like the same stuff as me, and that's cool to know that these people are there. But I also don't want YouTube to be my job. I want it to be entirely a hobby, and that's why I tried not to make money from YouTube because I have my job that pays the bills, and then when I want to make Lego content, it's there, and I don't feel like I owe these people anything as far as I don't owe them content. I don't have a Patreon where I'm that kind of stuff. But that's just for me personally. I want it to be entirely a hobby.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be a source of income. So
I think you can inadvertently force yourself to feel like you're obligated to do stuff for people.
Yeah.
I felt bad as a kid upstairs earlier. He sent me an Instagram message like a year ago, and I never responded. And I pulled out my phone. I was like, reply to that message, and it didn't show up in my feed. And I scrolled through my feed, and I'm like, these are all the messages I get.
Yeah.
I can't keep up with them, but I do. But a part of me does feel bad sometimes.
Yeah,
If people
sometimes.
somebody asks me a question, if I don't answer it, but it's like, can you imagine if you were just spending all your time answering questions and you're getting hundreds and hundreds of them?
Yeah.
And it's like, and there's not that you should monetize your answering questions, but you just don't have the time
No,
to do it, and then you feel bad because you didn't respond.
Yeah.
And there's a balance there.
Well, and it's definitely hard when you become a bigger channel because I've only got 1,000 subscribers, so it's not an issue for me yet. But if I ever did get to that subscriber count, I wouldn't have time. If I wanted to make content, I wouldn't have time to interact with every fan, and that's just kind of the reality of fandoms and popularity on the internet. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
Don't get mad at your favorite YouTuber if they don't reply to your comment.
Yes.
And
it's not their fault.
It is not possible.
Yes. Yes.
If we can't do it, they can't. They can't do it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's talk Lego. Let's
Yes.
go to our
Yeah,
happy
you're right.
place.
What's that?
Okay,
Why are we here? I want to know, how did you guys first find our store? You live in Georgia, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you?
Also live in Georgia.
All right. 3 Georgians here.
Yeah.
I met the guys at Brick Fair, Alabama, though. Didn't actually come down here until I met y'all at 2013, I want to say. The thing that always stands out to me when I think of Atlanta Brick Company is that Doctor Who Duplo TARDIS.
They build with Duplo.
Yeah, of course. We build with everything. We've got Jack Stone. We've got everything.
Jack Stone. I was looking for that.
We have tons of those. If you want them, we will gladly sell
You know what?
them.
It's okay. You are the Duplo guy, so you're allowed to build with Duplo.
And just seeing how all the kids have grown up, too.
You said a lot of the content you produce is going back and looking at the classic stuff.
Yeah, that's why I love this store.
Speaking of your store, so we both go over there to the castle section.
That's where we hang out. Yeah.
I remember used to have that set.
Yep.
Want to get that one. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. It's all about the classic Lego for me.
To me, it's so nice because I was a kid when like the late 80s, late 80s Castle stuff came out. So it's always neat to me to see people a lot younger than me really like the classic stuff. So I'm interested, what draws you to it? Mm-hmm. Is it the fact that they don't make it anymore? Or is it the... Because there's no nostalgia like it is for me.
No, it's not like I had those sets growing up. I'm just a strange person, and I've come to terms with that. It's like...
You actually are not. That is actually...
But there's not a lot of people my age that truly care. I brought him some pins. They're like these lapel pins from the 60s. Nobody else my age would ever care about those or ever want those.
It's the Lego gnome boy.
Yeah, the weird Danish boy that's like from the 60s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just like advertising pins. I don't know anybody else my age that would ever care about those because the only people that would care would be people that like grew up with those or like saw them. I like history. I like to know the history of things that I like. And so obviously I grew up with Lego in the late 90s, early 2000s, and that's the period that's most nostalgic for me. But yet I look back at the simplicity of the older sets and it really just, it speaks to me from an imagination standpoint of like, this is how this brand got its foothold in America, how it grew itself to be a household name. These are the cool things that they were trying before they figured out what they needed to do to be popular. They did some weird stuff.
Having that same interest, mine's back a few years, but then I start to get interested in things that came out even before I was born, even though I'm old.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I had the little minifigures that had no arms. They were just and they had no faces, and I had the maxi figures. And I remember looking, I was like, why these maxi figures? They got faces. Why can't they put faces on the minifigures? So I saw the evolution of Lego from the early 70s to today. And it's like the things I would wish for, and then they would make it, and I'd be so excited. And then when I discovered the internet, it was like, how did I not know this stuff ever existed?
I never saw this stuff.
Yeah. So then I was like him. I'm like researching stuff that even from my lifetime, it came out, but it was only available in Europe.
Yeah.
And so I just became fascinated with the history of Lego, and it's not a popular thing. Like what's popular is what's the latest thing that comes.
Newest Star Wars set.
And you probably tell by what sells up here. It's like people, they've heard of something, they come in, they want to get whatever's popular at that moment. They don't care about this hopper car from 2004 or the forks and spoons set. I mean, no, they don't care about that.
Build while you
weird stuff.
Did you have a dark time?
No.
You did not have a dark period.
I am one of the oddballs.
Me neither. I wonder if that has to do with like caring about the history and stuff.
I was poor, so I couldn't buy the stuff that I want.
Yeah.
I remember when the consolation prize on Family Feud was set 190, the farm set, and I was like, oh, I wish our family had been on there so I could get that set, because it was a bigger set for the time period that we couldn't afford. So I didn't have a dark period, but I also didn't have a large collection.
Kind of the same as I grew up with two brothers, and so all three of us combined had a pretty sizable Lego collection just for every birthday and Christmas. It was always, give me a Lego set. Through the years, as they grew out of Lego, I ended up getting their Lego, and so I had a collection. When I got to my teens, early 20s, I wasn't really buying a lot of Lego. I would get a set or two a year of the newest set or whatever. But then I started really getting into like old vintage stuff again, and like he was saying, stuff before I was born, except I'm going all the way 40 years before I was born, because there's a lot of Lego history that I didn't know about. Seeing that wealth of stuff that I never experienced growing up, but is still familiar to me because it's in the same era or same style as the stuff that I knew. There's so much cool stuff back there. Never a dark period.
I did have a dark period. It was shameful.
It's okay.
My biggest regret was I had the Black Seas Barracuda.
Oh.
And I gave it to a consignment shop.
I probably bought it.
Maybe. We have one now. We have one in the store.
I bought one in Marietta. Did you sell it?
No, it was in Noonan.
Okay.
It was here in Noonan.
Okay.
No. That would actually make me feel better if you got
if somebody got it,
I sometimes think about it, like if you sell stuff, it's like, I wonder who's got it now.
Yeah. Do they still care about it?
Yeah.
Do they still love it as much as I did?
What are you guys planning for, I guess, for your channels? Just keep doing what you're doing? You were talking about doing more live feeds. I've noticed Jang is doing that a lot more now. It seems like the algorithm is pushing that more for now.
Yeah.
For now, who knows?
I would love to do a weekly podcast style, kind of like this.
Yeah.
It's just having the time to do it and schedule it
Yep.
and stuff. It's like I work full time, he works full time, so
Yeah.
it's like we squeeze in what we can
Yeah.
when we do, but I would like to do more long form content like this.
We would love to have you guys on our
Yeah.
show more often.
Yeah.
We do
Absolutely.
one every Friday. We
Okay.
drop a
Okay.
video every
Okay.
Friday where we
Okay.
do a long form content.
So I remember, Beyond the Brick. I remember when they were just doing their podcasts, and it was podcasts not on YouTube, and now they're on YouTube and doing the podcasts, and I was like, this is kind of content I like.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's like just to see how then they just like exploded
Yeah.
on YouTube, and it's
Yeah.
like now they've gotten really good at it.
Talk about a group that kind of came from behind and then just skyrocketed.
Yeah.
They,
I mean,
they
I
did
think what
really well.
it definitely part of that is making themselves like the go-to name for convention
Yeah.
stuff.
That's I think that
touring around
Interviews.
and-
It's always about interviews.
they
Yeah.
found their niche.
Yeah.
They because there
And
was
they're good at
already
it.
Jane Breaks. There was already Just Do Good. There were people doing that type of content. So they found their niche doing. We're gonna spend the money and travel
And see what all
do
these other
interviews.
cool Lego fans are making that aren't sets. you know,
Yeah.
and show it off to
And
everybody.
people
They-
who can't go
Yeah.
get to experience it a little bit.
Yeah, they interviewed me at Brick Fair, Alabama doing Lego Island, and that was something that was so surreal for me to like be interviewed by these guys that I'd also been watching for years.
Yeah.
And be like, this is a Lego thing that meant a lot to me, and I get to share that with the world now in a format that probably wouldn't have reached very many people otherwise if they
Yeah.
hadn't been there to do interviews with everybody that was making cool stuff. And
I got an interview there too. It's before they blew up. So.
yeah. Back in the day.
Back in the day. Yeah.
Well, that's why they blew up because they got.
Oh,
interviewed.
no.
That's totally why.
Brickzar, all the Brickzar fans
Yeah.
flocked to the channel.
Things literally blow up around me. So.
So I grabbed you guys from the store, and thank you again so much for doing that.
Yeah.
But is there anything you're looking at the store? Anything you've purchased these already?
Mm-hmm.
Anything you got your eye on? You're looking for?
Every time I come here, I look at your set 6073, the Knight's Castle,
Yep.
because that's the one that
Black
it's
Falcon
the
set.
only one of the only castle sets I never owned. He's going to eventually own all of them, I think.
I mean, don't tell my wife, but probably. There's definitely something that I'm trying to talk myself out of buying is the blacksmith shop, the 2002 one. Though.
Yeah.
The fan made.
Daniel Siskin designed it.
That's
yeah.
it. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I love that because it fits right in with like the guarded in and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
that's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
They got there's a little like smaller castle set that's like sandwiched in between it. This is like $9.99.
is that for the?
is that for the castle?
is that for the shop? I'll take that.
I'm sure that wasn't done on purpose.
Whoops. So that's one that I saw it when I was here last time, and I was really like considering it. And so I told my wife, I was like, "You gotta stop me because I might just come home with that set." So we'll see. I really do think I might end up owning all the castle sets, or at least all the ones before 2000. That's the stuff
that's
that
the
I love.
classic era.
I've already got. He keyed me into Weetabix Castle, which nobody else knows about. Guaranteed. If you don't know what Weetabix Castle is, look it up because it was the first Lego castle.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went and bricklinked that last year, and that was because I growing up I had known the cheese castle, what I call it, the yellow castle,
Mm-hmm.
and that was always my favorite. And so I got that, and then I was like, "There's an older one," and so I had to go bricklink
Wow, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
it. It was a
one-
mail away promo.
I love it when people say that. That's
Yeah,
I think if
Yeah.
there was one thing with YouTube
yeah.
that I always want to do something that's about, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I never heard of that before. That's what I like to do.
It's so hard to even find on Bricklink too. It's like under
Mm-hmm.
like I don't even remember where it's under, but it's not under Castle, and so you wouldn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
And it never had like an official box.
It came in a brown mailer.
So Yellow Castle was 1978,
in Europe, yeah, 1981.
and when was this?
1970.
1970.
8 years
8
before,
years.
and it was a mail away only.
It's colorful, it's hideous, and I love it.
And I don't know, you had to cut out coupons from Weetabix, which is Weetabix is like a awful, like, it's almost like,
It's like just fiber. It's a bar of fiber.
it's frosted mini wheats without the frosted.
and in
Or
an oval that big.
Yeah.
I actually grew up in England for a couple years, and I ate those for breakfast, and I hated them.
So it's a European only thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not
Mainly
really over
UK.
here. Yeah, you might be able to
They-
find it like international supermarkets, but
Yeah.
nobody knows what it is over here. So
Wow.
it's
They actually
terrible.
Lego made a Weetabix set that had a little Weetabix guy. It looks like he's a hash brown coming out of
Now
his.
that's something I didn't even know about.
yeah,
So yeah, I'm learning too.
Stick around me and you'll learn a lot of things that you don't need to know.
That's kind of how my mind is, an encyclopedia of useless Lego knowledge.
That is awesome. No such thing. That's an oxymoron,
You're
sir.
right. You're
That is
right.
an oxymoron.
It's all valuable. Somebody's got to preserve
Everyone,
it.
yes. What do you guys feel keeps you going, keeps making the content? You hear big content creators talk about this YouTube treadmill, just like, it becomes this job.
Yeah.
But what, for you guys, the size that your channels are, what kind of keeps you going?
The people.
Yeah.
It's the people that I know. And like I said, it's not the 60,000 subscribers I have. It's the few hundred, maybe 1,000 that come back and then they leave comments, and something bad happens, they leave nice words. Something good happens, they congratulate me. They ask me questions, and it's the people, and then meeting them in person.
Yeah.
Like places like this.
Getting to just chat
Awesome.
about Lego, yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's a cycle of going intensely into making Lego content, burning out for a couple months, not touching my channel, which if anybody sees me here, they're going to be like, why haven't you uploaded in 4 months? But it's because I do stuff behind the scenes. You know, like I've been building mocks that I want to take to Brick Fair and stuff like that, or I've been just doing other content that I can't really put into like a review. And so when I'm not feeling like editing reviews, I just do other Lego stuff.
Yeah.
And so when I'm ready to, film and edit reviews, then I know that channel will be there, that core group of people will still be excited to see reviews. So, I mean, that's what keeps me going is being able to do it at my own pace, which, kind of goes back to what I was saying about not making it a hobby. Because if I did have a Patreon or that kind of stuff, is I would feel obligated to do this stuff when I'm not really feeling like doing it.
Yeah.
But, I still want to be involved in Lego in other ways, and so.
Well, thank you guys so much for
Yeah.
coming on the show and spending this time with me. I felt like I've learned so much from you guys. And this is the part of our show where we say, plug yourself.
I'm Jabbo. I'm a vintage Lego collector for a long time. If you like anything weird Lego related, you can check me out, Czar. It's pretty much, you Google Czar, you'll find me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll put in the description.
Yeah.
We'll put a link
Yep.
in the description.
I'm on YouTube as Brian's Bricks, different from Bricks O'Brien, who's also popular Lego guy. But then I'm on Instagram as Brian's Bricks, same type of deal. So I've been trying to upload more behind, like, just as I get it, stuff on Instagram when I'm not doing on YouTube. So that's another way that I find it to be fun to be able to just share what I'm doing with Lego with other people. So
Again, I'd love to have you guys come back.
Yeah.
We'll change up the panel, get other people talking, and I would love to talk to you guys again. Pick your brains for more of that useless Lego knowledge.
that weird stuff that no one else knows about.
Bye.